Hi, welcome to Debesto. In this episode, we will share with you knowledge how to correctly measure, calculate, and install European tilt and turn window. If you have any question, please comment below. Enjoy the video!
Measuring the window opening. To take accurate measurements, you'll need a retractable or laser measuring tape and a spirit level. If you're unsure whether the opening is perfectly square, measure the height and width in 3 places and use the smallest value. In our case, that's 33.5 inches in height and nearly 29 inches in width. When ordering a window, always specify whether the measurements refer to the window opening or the window unit itself. The window should be slightly smaller than the opening, following standard sizing guidelines. If you plan to install window sills, consider adding a sill adapter, as it simplifies installation. PVC windows usually include it by default, while aluminum windows often offer it as an option. The standard height of a sill adapter is 1.2 inches, which should be factored into the final measurements. Sealing the bottom of the window opening. Now we secure the bottom of the opening with waterproof tape, protecting against moisture. This surface is often slightly sloped to allow water drainage. We use airtight exterior window installation tape, but other common US tapes and sealing systems work as well. The tape is waterproof yet vapor permeable, allowing moisture to escape from inside the wall. If the tape is too narrow to cover the area in one piece, apply overlapping layers starting from the bottom. Seal the front edge first. Cut a strip about 8 inches longer than the opening's width, and apply it with an overlap on the horizontal edge. Additionally, use a pressure roller to smooth the surface and ensure proper adhesion. Add another strip, ensuring it overlaps the first one, and take your time to apply the tape carefully. This will help avoid gaps where air could pass through, reducing the overall insulation of the window. Seal the bottom corners, pressing the tape firmly to prevent gaps. Make sure the surface is as clean as possible. A simple trick? 4 wooden blocks. If the window should be flush with the exterior wall, screw the blocks into the opening's corners, aligned with the wall face. If the window needs to be recessed inward, place the blocks further inside. If the window should be projected outward, mount the blocks with spacers underneath to achieve the correct position. Congratulations! Your window opening is now ready for installation. Preparing the window for installation. At this stage, you will need a screwdriver and a mounting handle. Once the opening is ready, it's time to prepare the window. If you're working with a tilt and turn window, the first step is to remove the sash. This makes the frame much lighter and easier to handle. If your window has visible hinges, the removal process is straightforward. First, push the pin out of the top hinge. You can use a specialized tool or a punch and pliers. Start from the top and push the pin downward. Rotate the handle to the open turn position. Once part of the pin is exposed, pull it out completely to release the top hinge. Now, grab the sash, lift it off the bottom hinge, and you're done. For concealed hinges, the process depends on the brand and model. It's always a good idea to check with your supplier for specific instructions. In our case, here's how it works. Open the window to a 90-degree angle. Unlock the handle position lock and rotate the handle into the vertical, tilted position. This releases the upper scissor mechanism. Lift the sash slightly and push it toward the frame to disengage the second locking point. Once the scissor arm is detached, carefully lift the sash and set it aside. Installing the window fixing anchors. In this stage, you are going to need waterproof tape, utility knife, fixing anchors, power screwdriver, stainless steel, or galvanized self-drilling screws. Before installation, we need to apply waterproof and vapor-tight tape to ensure an airtight seal. Start by applying the tape to the inner side of the frame. Remove the protective layer from the narrow adhesive strip and stick the tape along the frame's perimeter. In the corners, cut and overlap the tape by its full width, but don't remove the protective layer from the overlaps, yet to keep the adhesive clean. If you're using a sill adapter, seal the bottom part after placing the window in the opening. If not, apply the tape to the bottom edge, just like the other sides. We can now proceed with installing the fixing anchors on the window frame. The guidelines for placing the anchors are displayed on the screen. Following these instructions, insert the anchors into the window frame. Next, screw the anchors in place to prevent them from shifting unintentionally. For this purpose, use self-drilling screws made of stainless steel or galvanized steel to avoid corrosion caused by the contact of regular steel with aluminum. Once the anchors are installed, bend them inward toward the window. This makes it easier to position the window in the opening, as the anchors won't catch on the edges. Additionally, after bending the anchors back, they will take a shape that facilitates screwing them into the frame. To protect the tape from damage during positioning, secure it with regular adhesive tape. Placing the window in the opening. At this stage, you will need spacer blocks, setting blocks, and a level. Before installation, check the placement guidelines for setting and spacer blocks. Setting blocks stay permanently in place, preventing frame distortion. Position them under the hinge side at the bottom and on the opposite side at the top. Spacer blocks are temporary and will be removed later. Set the window on the lower setting blocks. Align it vertically and horizontally, and wedge it securely. Ensure even mounting gaps on all sides. This will be crucial for proper sealing. Pay close attention to these essential guidelines for setting blocks positioning. If these are not followed, the window will sag, leading to mechanical malfunction. Mechanical installation. To install the frame, we are going to use a drill, wood screws, and a hammer. Secure the window with previously prepared wood screws, using 2 per anchor. If anchors protrude beyond the wall, bend or trim them to avoid interference with further work. At this stage, you can also remove the temporary wooden supports. Applying the foam. Before applying the foam, make the surface wet. Shake the foam can according to producer's instruction. Apply foam evenly from the bottom, following the manufacturer's guidelines. For larger gaps, apply in 2 stages, waiting for partial curing between layers. Once cured, trim excess foam carefully to maintain insulation properties. Avoid compressing or tearing it. This step also highlights the importance of cutting the membrane at the outer edge. Folds in the membrane can prevent proper adhesion, weakening thermal performance. Applying inner and outer sealing tapes. Inner tape. On the inside, we will use vapor-permeable tape. Remove protective tapes and apply from the bottom up. If installing a sill trim, attach the tape to it. Press the tape firmly without stretching, forming a compensation fold to absorb structural movement. Be sure to tape over the anchors to prevent moisture condensation, which can soak the foam and eventually lead to mold growth. Outer tape. Use waterproof yet vapor-permeable tape to allow moisture escape. Apply from the bottom, overlapping layers like roof tiles. The amount overlapping the window frame depends on final visibility after construction. The upper tape is applied last, connecting to the windproof membrane to prevent water infiltration. Finally, seal cut sections of the membrane with tape. Reinstalling the window sash. Once the frame is installed, reinstall the sash according to the hardware manufacturer's instructions. Congratulations! The window is now installed. Simply attach the handle, make minor adjustments, and it's ready to use. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more installation guides and expert tips. Check the link in the description for more interesting details.